Hello and welcome back to another episode of Becoming Relentless. I am your host, Eleanor McCabe. I'm an IFBB Bikini Pro and an online health and fitness coach. And today I am in the studio with a very special guest. This is Mario. I'm going to go ahead and let him introduce himself. So Mario, who are you?
Yeah. Oh, my bad. I'm so new to this podcast thing. It's funny. So my name's Mario Wilkinson. I am a photographer here in the Central Texas area. I primarily serve out of Dallas, Houston, Austin. I do a lot of work in the bodybuilding space. A lot of people who will watch this podcast have probably seen me at least once or twice at a show somewhere. I shoot the stage. I shoot with a lot of the NPC stuff, a lot of IFBB Pro shows here in Texas with Battle Up Media. Also work independently on my own, but primarily working in the fitness space, portrait space, stuff like that. Videographer as well. But yeah, if you're in the Central Texas area in the bodybuilding scene, you probably seen me at least like once or twice somewhere.
Yeah.
Running around at a show, sliding on my knees in front of the stage. Probably shot a lot of your favorite bodybuilders' photos, me and my team. So yeah.
Battle Up Media, right? Is
Battle
the
Up
team?
Media.
Cool. Yeah, I think everybody who listens, if you're not familiar, they are here in Texas and they pretty much cover all of the shows, all the big shows, all the important shows, they are there. So like Mario said, if you are at an NPC or IFBB show in Texas, you more than likely are familiar with him. And honestly, even beyond too, because you guys do some of the bigger shows,
we're starting
right?
to expand out.
Yeah.
Like, we just did NPC Nationals that just wrapped up. A couple of the other national shows. The team's been out in Jersey this year, Indiana this year. They've been all over the place, and I'm pretty sure we're not far off from going international. So
Yeah.
Team's growing quite a bit. So yeah, but if you've seen us, you've seen us. You know the work.
Yes, 100%. So how did photography become like your entry point into bodybuilding, or what came first for you, photography or the fitness space?
So technically, they kind of blended. Just to make the story a little bit shorter, I picked up a camera like 2017, and it was just like,
Oh, wow.
I was gonna be like, I just needed a camera to shoot my daughter like doing dance. She was doing dance at the time, and I picked it up and I just kind of messed around with it a little bit. I fell in love with it. I've always been a fan of art. This was my way of being able to do art. And then as time grew, after I got out the military, relocated to El Paso. There was a gym in El Paso that we were doing. I was doing CrossFit at the time. And I just ended up shooting an event that they had there one day. They had like a big CrossFit event. And I was like, wow, this is pretty good. And they really liked the photos and stuff. And I started digging into it more. Let some time go by. When we moved to Killeen, I got a job in Killeen, moved out there. And then I still kept doing photography, just more street stuff. I wasn't really into fitness and stuff like that at the time.
Yeah.
I started messing around a little bit, doing self-portraits. I ended up taking a picture in my garage of myself. And I just posted it on my Instagram. It might be like still the first photo on my Instagram page, funny enough. But I ended up taking that, and then my best friend now, Clips Harris, shout out to Clips, he saw the photo and he was like, yo, what is this? I was like, where'd you take this? He was like, I took it in my garage. And then from there, like, we developed a partnership and then a friendship. And then he kind of got me into the space of bodybuilding. Over time, I started working with some gyms. I used to shoot out of House of Gains. I used to shoot out of another gym in Killeen before that. And then I ended up moving to House of Gains, where a lot of people started to get to know me. And then from the House of Gains thing, I met Freddie Naidu, who is obviously the big man in charge out here out in Texas. Freddie got me into a lot of shows. I also worked at the time with James Allen. That got me into a lot of shows in bodybuilding. And then from there, it just kept growing and growing and growing. Funny enough, like, I never intended to be in bodybuilding. I honestly wanted to be in fashion when I started doing photography more. And that's where a lot of my influence comes from, like the fashion world. And then, sports kind of blended into that. So that's where, if you kind of look at a little bit of my style, it kind of goes that way. But yeah, like, that's how I kind of got into bodybuilding. It kind of just spiraled into this over the last 5 years. And it's been kind of a weird ride, but we're here.
See, that's so cool. I didn't know that was your start. So I thought you'd been shooting like basically your whole life, but it sounds like you just picked up a camera like 7 years ago and you just started messing around with it, doing it for like personal things, and then eventually it turned into...
It definitely morphed into this. Like the more and more I got into it, like I said, I've always been a big fan of art. I used to draw a lot when I was a kid. I used to, I painted a lot when I was a kid too. I did a lot of art stuff. As I got older, obviously that kind of like faded to the side. And then this was my way of being able to reintroduce myself back into art. And that's the way I've always approached and looked at my work is I always feel like it's art. I don't just look at it, and we'll probably dive into this later, but I don't like using the word content.
Yeah.
I hate using the word content when it comes to like my photography or the work that I do for other people. I'll always look at my work as my art.
Okay.
This is my art. Like, so like I got into doing my art and I started taking it seriously about like 5 or 6 years ago, but like I've always kind of been into it and this has kind of been my thing. So yeah, about 5 years of work, about 5 years of solid work now.
Laying down that foundation, getting really solid with it. When did you realize that it could be something more than just like an interest or a hobby, or is it still just like a hobby for you?
No, it's both.
Okay.
I enjoy the hobbyist aspect of it when I'm able to like do personal projects and stuff like that. But I think I realized it was serious when the money started rolling in. When people were willing to like, hey man, like you're good at this. I will pay you to do this. And that's when the switch started flipping. And then one year I just kind of looked at like, because again, this is my second job. Like I have a full-time job, right? But I started looking at like my end of year return one year, and I was just like, wow, I made a lot of money off of this. Like this is serious. And also when like people I have a lot of people that started asking me for advice about it, and I was like, man, am I really like that? I'm not to be cocky, but I'm like, am I really like actually kind of that good? Like, and when I started earning some respect from like the people that I looked up to, like as I started looking at other photographers and whatnot, some of them started reaching out to me and being like, man, you're good. Like that's when I started realizing, oh, like this is serious. And then it got serious enough that I actually have an LLC now, and like I'm running a business off of it. So like it's pretty nice. I think the eye-opening moment, if we're going to pivot into like a bodybuilding thing, is like I've stood on the Olympia stage. Like I've shot at Olympia, and I think as a bodybuilder not a bodybuilder, but a photographer in the bodybuilding space, I believe that like that's one of those moments. It's a Super Bowl moment. Like you're sitting sidelines at the Super Bowl. If you're a photographer there, you've kind of made it.
Yeah.
And then being in bodybuilding, primarily, I think the moment that I shot at the Olympia and there were athletes there, members of the staff, and all these other people that like knew me. Not just from my work, but they know me because they worked with me. Like that's when I realized, like, oh man, I think I actually do belong here. So, yeah.
Did that feel like it happened overnight, or was it?
It blurred.
Like, okay.
It felt like a blur. Like I don't think there's a such thing as an overnight success. I don't really believe nothing is overnight. It's all cumulative. I'm a big advocate of compound interest. Like all the little things that you do kind of lead up to like the bigger things that happen in your life. But I don't think it was an overnight. I just kept building and building. How fast it happened is more shocking to me, but it's not like really a surprise that it did.
Yeah.
You work long enough and hard enough at something, you give it enough, then you're going to eventually return it. The dividends are going to return.
Yep.
So, am I shocked that it kind of happened? No. Am I shocked at how fast it happened? Yeah. Usually it takes people years to get there, but I mean, we're living in an age where things do move faster. Like social media is a big component of that.
Yes, absolutely.
I did gain a lot of traction, and I think people genuinely like me somewhat. Like I think I'm good enough that people genuinely like who I am as a person, so they supported a lot. And through that support, things just kept growing. So yeah, it just kind of happened. So yeah.
I think so. The reason why I ask is because I think, to go back to the social media point a little bit, people can look at your profile or like look at your projects and your journey and think like, oh, it seems like it was so easy, or just like, you just like had it right away. And that's very parallel to like bodybuilding, because I feel like you could put in the work to build a physique for years and years and years and like go to every show and not place and not be known. And then all of a sudden it just takes that like one show where you win and all of a sudden people are like, oh, she won super quickly. And it kind of sounds like with you, with photography, you've had that journey where you like understood that like there's no such thing as an overnight success, but like I love this. I'm going to keep doing it. I'm going to keep showing up and being consistent. And then bam, all of a sudden you're like on the Olympia stage, which is like for a lot of bodybuilders, like for myself, that is like the pinnacle. Like that's when you made it in a sense. Or that's how a lot of us like kind of track those milestones.
I think to talk about that, right? So let's say, for instance, you take a bodybuilder, it might seem like they had an overnight success, right? Or whatever, right? You don't know how many off seasons that person has been in, right? You don't know how many months, years that person is taking off between show to show. It might seem like they blew up, but it's not that they blew up. You just forgot about them like 2 years ago. Same thing with me. It's like, I don't think people understand how many days that I've spent taking something like this water bottle. I'm not kidding. Taking something like this water bottle, sitting it down here, pulling out my camera and going, no, different angle. There have been so many weeks, months, years, like I didn't have clients. I didn't have the people that I just would sit around and I would pick my camera up and I would move it. I would change the lighting. I would do all of this stuff. Like I would build my skill set up the same way that nobody knows how many hours you spent posing. Nobody knows how many hours you spent in your kitchen, in your living room, in your garage, in an empty gym, doing pose after pose after pose after pose, tweaking and tweaking. And that's what I meant by like, there's no such thing as an overnight success. Sure, I could have blown up. I could have tomorrow wake up and had 10,000 followers, 20,000, a million, whatever, because a photo blew up. But nobody knows the impact or like the things that it took to get that one photo, to get the lighting just right. How many hours up here that I have calculated to get that right.
One.
The lighting, the angle, the shot, the lens, the everything. Like it's not easy. It's not easy at all. But you know, it's definitely worth it. But it's not easy. There's no such thing as that overnight success whatsoever. It takes hours. It takes hours and hours and days and years of just practice and practice and practice and practice. And I think I've logged those hours.
100%. Yeah. And I think that your work like shows that. People might not realize it, but hopefully like when they hear this, they'll be able to actually conceptualize like it's not just a overnight thing.
Yeah.
Did you feel like along the way, like what sacrifices did you have to make to actually like pursue it seriously? Because I talked about that in my last episode. I talked about like commitment to something. There's always opportunity cost. You're going to have to sacrifice. And that's where most people fail. That's where they hold back, is like they're not willing to give up certain things to chase their dreams. So like for you, like what sacrifices did you have to make?
There's a law of equivalent exchange. To have something, you have to give something up, right? So like for me, I have a full-time job. I have a family. I have friends. I have a social life. I have all these things. Yeah, I've given up to pursue this. There have been times where it's like I've had to give up, time at my full-time job. I've had to give up time for this. Like even photography has had to take its own sacrifices for me to be able to. Like I've lost. I can't tell you how much money I've spent, how much money I've lost, how much time I've lost, sleep. You probably know. If people don't understand this, when we leave a show, we don't just leave a show. Like let's just take the shows for instance. Between the travel, the lack of sleep, we're working 15, 16-hour days, and then on top of that, if you're working center stage after the show is over, you have thousands upon thousands of photos to process and work and all that other stuff, right? Like to deliver as well. You have maybe like a 3-day turnaround, to be quite honest, because bodybuilding moves quick, and the moment the show is over, nobody's thinking about the show anymore. It's the next show. So you have to get that stuff out quick to move to the next one. And if we're on a back-to-back-to-back, you're losing sleep.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff that you have to give up. I'll say from my personal experience, though, the thing that I've given up most is I've given up a lot of opportunities just because I don't have the time. I'm in a unique situation. Well, I don't think it's that unique because there's plenty of people that do it. But again, having a full-time job and trying to pursue this on the full-time, something has to give one way or another. I've passed on a lot of opportunities in this, and I've had to learn to grow slower than most people have because I just do not have the opportunity to just pursue it all day. If I had 24 hours to just dedicate to nothing but the craft, I might be light years ahead of where I am right now. Maybe not just skill wise, but just business wise, or, I could have grown so much further, but I've had to give up a lot of my time or had sacrificed time on this end. Most people think like in my end that the sacrifice is elsewhere. I've actually sacrificed more in photography and videography than I've sacrificed in my personal life.
Right.
Just because of my situation being full time. So having a full time job, being gone all the time, like I've had to learn how to navigate through that because my job makes me travel. And I built enough of a clientele base in Texas, but I don't have a clientele base in South Carolina.
Yeah.
I don't have a clientele base in El Paso or Germany or wherever other places I've been over the last couple of years. So it's a different type of sacrifice, but nonetheless.
It's still a sacrifice. That's still something that I think is worth like talking about because my situation's not the same, but I do understand what it's like to have two jobs because that's how I am right now. Like I quit my full-time corporate job 2 years ago and I went full-time coaching, but I was an assistant coach under somebody. So all of the clients that I was getting, I was splitting. Like they would pay me, but like a percentage of what I was getting paid was going to my head coach. And at the time I was like, you know what, that's okay. Like I need the mentorship. I need the leadership. I don't know how to run my own business. So I did that for a couple years and I couldn't make it work. Like, and it's so hard for me to admit that, but like I've talked about it before. So people know I like had really bad financial issues. Like I was just swiping my credit card to like make ends meet, was just living a life in delusion a little bit, but I kept thinking like, if I just get more clients, like I'll be able to make this work. And then I just had to face reality and look really hard at myself and be like, okay, it's not working the way that I want it to work. It's not going to work. Like no matter how many clients I get, I'll always be paying a percentage to somebody else. Like I'm entrepreneuring, but I'm not because I'm still working for somebody else. So then at the end of last year, I went and got a job in sales because number one, sales is a really great skill to have. I think all of our like leaders, like everybody who's ever done anything, they know sales. Like they have sales skills. So I was like, perfect. Tech sales is really big in Austin. I'll get a tech sales job. I'll learn the skills. I'll make quick money and then I'll get out. Like my whole plan was get in, get out, get a bag, whatever. Of course, it doesn't work the way that you plan it ever. And I'm still in sales, but I feel like I resonate a lot with what you said. And like, I've had to come to terms with like, I have to grow slower. I can't look at these coaches on Instagram or the coaches that I used to work with and compare myself because they're at step 10 and I'm at step 5. And I've been throwing stuff at the wall trying to see what sticks, but I don't actually have like systems in place. I don't have automations. I don't have efficiency. Like everything's very manual because I'm very customized. Like I'm very personal with my clients. And so there's always a give and take. And I've come to learn that like, okay, I have a full-time 9 to 5. Like I have a full-time Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 sales job. And also I coach. Coaching is my passion. It's my love. It's what I want to do full-time. But like right now I have to be okay with where I'm at and like accept that I'll get to where I want to go. Like I won't be working a 9 to 5 forever. But for now, like I just have to be okay with where I'm at. Like I can't just keep doing the same things expecting a different result.
So you touched on something that I think you touched on 2 points that I think are incredibly valuable when we're talking about both realities that we live in, right? They both blend, and that you work in sales now, right? And sales requires a certain type of skill. That skill is like you have to have really good customer relations, or you have to have at least really good face-to-face people skills, right? That's something you cannot negate in either industry we're in, whether it's coaching, sales, whatever, right? I think that's having personal skills or like people skills, being able to speak to people a certain way, talk to people a certain way, understand people, listen attentively. Those are very concrete skills that everybody needs to have. And I think it's becoming a lost art due to the thing that I'm about to talk about is the social media part, right? You're talking about all these coaches, all these other influencers, all these other people, even on my end, videographers, photographers or whatever that you see with these massive accounts and these massive like followings, and these massive people that are willing to pay them whatever to get their course. What you're not seeing is the fact that it probably took them 2 to 3 years to get to that point. You're getting the highlight reel. You're getting the highlight reel of, hey, I've grown my account 7 times to, 20,000, blah, 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 in 30 days. And this is what you can do too to get there. And it's like, okay, yeah, but let's talk about 10 years it took you to get there.
Yeah.
And now you're giving me this highlight package of what it takes to get there. I've seen the same thing with photographers. It's like, yo, let's go buy my course and I'll teach you how to like grow your business to blah, blah, blah. You're getting that highlight reel. And a lot of times we're unfortunately putting our timetable on somebody else's success. And it's like, well, they blew up. Why can't I blow up? And it's like, you're not even in the same circumstance. You don't realize that this person has probably had this account or this following or this amassed this whatever over the course of time, 5 years, 10 years. How long has social media been around? Whatever. It feels like it hasn't been around that long for us, but time moves way differently. When you're not exactly paying attention. You only find out about somebody after they blew up. Unless you're one of those hardcore people. It's like, when your favorite artist finally makes it the mainstream.
Right.
That's
rare. Like that's not the norm.
It's not the norm. And somebody just does not show up. Again, there is no such thing as an overnight success. So like what you're talking about is we're running this rat race against everybody else that's we're running a rat race against everybody else that's like already there. And you're starting at ground zero, and you can't like just start at ground zero and think you're going to get to the top of the stairs. There's no elevator to the success. There's like, you have to take the stairs, and it's a long climb. And sometimes a lot of us now are so desperate for success one way or another for whatever reason, validation or, financial or whatever the case may be, that we're so willing to just be like, I'm not going to make it. And it drives you crazy. It will drive you crazy when you're trying to get to that point. I just want people to realize that there's no such thing as a quick path.
No.
You have to put in the work. Yeah. Both industries that we're in. You have to I see it all the time.
Yes, especially the industries that we're in, like 100%. And something you said reminds me of like an analogy that I just heard the other day where it was like the billionaire that gives you his like morning routine. Like, here's how you can, be like a billionaire. And it's like, well, that's his morning routine now, but that wasn't his morning routine 10 years ago when he was trying to make it to that first million or whatever. Like, insert whatever industry or goal that you're chasing, like the person at the top that's giving you that pretty package of like, here's how you can do what I did, they are not in the same situation that you are. And although they I like to assume most people have good intentions, what they're telling you isn't going to work for you because you guys aren't on the same playing field. You're in different games.
Show me your failures. That's what I want to see. Don't show me your success. Show me your failures. Show me how many times you fell on your ass. Like, show me how many times you fell on your ass. Like, tell me that. I'll learn more from the times that you fell on your ass than the times that you succeeded. I can't learn anything from your success. If everything was in an ideal bubble and we were all successful, there wouldn't be a need to teach. Nobody would need anything, right?
Yeah.
Show me how many times you failed. I want to see every last one of those. What lessons can I draw from that? One of my favorite quotes in sports really is from Giannis Antetokounmpo. He said, literally on the podium, somebody had asked him something stupid post game, and like he said, "Failure. There's no failure in sports." Like, and I took that quote as like, there is no failure in life.
Yeah,
I'm being honest, and it might sound corny or whatever coming across, but like, really, I don't think there's a failure. There's lessons. Like, you literally can learn from anything, right? So for somebody to come across and be like, yo, this is how I made it. Like, I did this, this, and this. Okay, yeah, but tell me about the 12 times that didn't work. You finally found a formula that works for you, but tell me about the times that it didn't. Where'd you go wrong? What happened? Where did you invest wrong? Or where did you, make a mistake? Where'd you make the wrong choice?
Yeah.
Tell me about that, because I want to learn more from that. Everybody always asks me all the time, it's like, how'd you get so good at photography or whatever? Like, how'd you get to this point? And again, sometimes I'm thinking, yo, I'm pretty all right. Like, I'm not like, I'm not gonna sit here and like, be like I'm the greatest of all time or something like that. There's a lot of cats whose names are just echoed through the halls, and mine isn't one of those yet. But I've failed a lot.
Yeah.
I've gone and I've wasted time. I've wasted, energy. I've wasted effort. I've messed up shoots. I was a time where I had no direction. I didn't know what to do. The way I can pose models now wasn't the way I could pose models 5 years ago. The way I could shoot bodybuilders now wasn't the way I shot bodybuilders 5 years. I failed a lot. I made a lot of mistakes. And I'm willing to talk about all of them to anybody that asks me.
Yeah.
But I'm more willing to show somebody my failures than I'm willing to show somebody my success. They think it's all like glitz and glamour. They think I'm like great. I'm pretty okay. Like I'm pretty okay what I do. But I failed a lot more than I succeeded. And I think more people can take more lessons from that failure than they can by watching my success now. So,
yeah. Do you find that people ask you about failure? I feel like that's a really we all hear it all the time that like, oh, you learn from your mistakes, you learn from failure, but it's very rare that I've had anybody ask me like, oh, how did you fail before you became pro? Like most people are like, how did you go pro?
Yeah.
You know?
Nobody wants, I think nobody wants to hear that because they want to be inspired by like your hero's journey, but people forget about like the part of the hero's journey that's actually
like
the downfall.
Yeah, you have to like slay the dragon to be the hero.
Yeah, like, before you slay the dragon, you had to fight it. And like you probably got your ass kicked once or twice before you leveled up, you know? Nobody wants to, I don't know why anybody doesn't ask about that though. And it's kind of like fascinating. Everybody wants to just know like, oh man, that was so great. What did you do? Nobody asks you what you do wrong.
Yeah.
Like nobody wants to know that part. Nobody wants to, I think most people don't want to accept the fact that there will be some wrong. Everybody wants a perfect run. And I don't think there's such thing as a perfect run. You can't have a perfect run. Nothing's perfect. Like you're going to trip and fall at some point, right? I can't tell you the amount of times that I've like been at a show and I just forgot to press record. And then I had to be like, yo, I gotta
make something happen.
I gotta call somebody back. I gotta, I'll give you an example, right? Even recently, I just had to make up a shoot for somebody because I accidentally, like right after I shot him, formatted a card. Every picture gone, wiped. Their whole team, the shoot before that, the 2 shoots before that, all gone because I was at a show when I was rushing and I was making mistakes. I think it was Texas Pro Weekend, maybe. I formatted a card for 3 athletes. Oh. I had to make a decision. It's like, look, man, what do I do? Do I refund? Do I whatever? Like. And, you know, I admitted to my mistake to the athletes and I said, all right, how do we correct this? I learned something from it. Yeah. Now I dual record or I, take the card. I have multiple cards. I'll pull that one. I'll dump all my files and I won't, until delivery, I won't erase the card. I learned from the mistake. Nobody ever asked me like, yo, how'd you fix that? It's like, oh man, these photos came out great, man. These are great. I love these. These are great.
Yeah.
From every other photographer I know, but they never were like, yo, what happened? Like, it seems like what'd you do? Like, I thought you shot this guy on this day. Where were the pictures from that? Nobody asked, like, what happened, Then nobody wants to hear about the failures because nobody wants to admit that you're going to fail. I think I'd rather hear about what went wrong, How could you do better? What'd you learn from it? I think we're not spending enough time learning from people. We just kind of, not in that way. We're trying to learn from success, but we're not trying to learn how they got there, the path.
Right. Yeah, that's what I see a lot. Like it's just, okay, this person is where I want to be, so let me look at what they're doing and try to emulate it, but you're not seeing the behind the scenes.
Yeah, you're also not in the same situation that person's in either. Like you at this place are seeing their success, but you're not seeing that path. You're not even in the same remote situation. Yeah. Like that could conjure that success, So, yeah.
I feel like this is something that is important to touch on. And honestly, like a lot of my listeners, they're competitors. Like the background of them is like bodybuilding competitors. And I do think that would be a very valuable question, like to anybody listening, if you meet your favorite bodybuilders. Like I know it feels kind of weird or scary, but like I run into Laura Lee or Jennifer, like I'll run into like the big names in the sports. And I honestly think they'd love to talk about like, hey, what's like a failure that you overcame this year? Like what's something really hard that like you came up against and you failed? Like what'd you learn from it? Because they're probably always asked like about the wins, like how to feel to win this show or how's it feel to, be Miss Olympia? And like those are great questions. Like we can learn from them in that. But how cool would it be to ask like, hey, what'd you guys come up against that like you actually fell on your butt and you failed, and like how'd you overcome that?
I think it's more inspiring than anything else. It's like, you know, the highlight reels are cool, man. Like, but I don't think the real story is in the highlight reels. Like, everybody sees a trailer to a movie and they get hyped to go see it. Then they get into the movie and the thing that they want to talk about was like, man, I can't believe they got out of that.
Yeah.
Like the struggle was more important to them than what they saw in the trailer, you know?
Right.
We're in an industry that's full of highlight reels. And I think those highlight reels are false. Like, I'm not saying that the success isn't earned or whatever. Like, those highlight reels are definitely deserved. Like, people should show you the best parts of what happened because you should know that anything is achievable. But just because it's achievable, you should also know what you have to be willing to give up.
What you're willing to go through.
What you're willing to go through, where you're willing to fail. And if that's worth it to you. Like, you know, you have to know where those failures are. So
I agree. And I think we're kind of on a good path to segue into like the mental health side of things as well, because I feel like mental health in bodybuilding, and then also how that ties into how people like even show up on camera and how all of those things tie in. So I want to like switch gears a little bit, like from your perspective, like where do you feel like bodybuilding builds mental strength, and then where does it cross the line and maybe hurt?
There's I mean, I played sports as a kid, so I understand what competition and being competitive and all this stuff like means. But I also know that bodybuilding is a sport where you're constantly being judged. You're being judged on stage. You're being judged online. You're being judged by your coach. You're being judged by your peers. You know, as a competitor, somebody's going to come up to you. It's like, oh, man, your glutes look great. And then you'll walk back like next to some other girl and be like, man, you're judging yourself. You're like, man, but my glutes aren't that size. Look at the shape of this, blah, blah, blah. And the third, and you get into your head because your entire worth as an athlete is based on someone's opinion. And I mean, granted, those opinions are grounded in rules, allegedly, supposedly. I'm probably going to piss somebody off when I say that, but whatever, right? It's both an objective and subjective sport. Like, there are rules that you're supposed to follow. Like, you know, I'm supposed to have this, I'm supposed to have that, I'm supposed to have this, I'm supposed to have that. My parts are supposed to look like this, my shoulders are supposed to look like this, my glutes are supposed to look like this, my back's supposed to look like this, right? And you're constantly working to get to that point, but you're also staring at a mirror at yourself hypercritically at all times. And the damage that can literally do, because you're judging yourself on your best of that day. You're constantly judging yourself on the best of that day. And as a photographer, I get this a lot, right? I get a lot of people that say, yeah, man, I'll book with you or whatever, but, you know, give me 6 weeks.
Oh, no.
I need 6 weeks, right? I'm not in my best shape. I'm like, you know, I'm a little spelled. Or they'll literally come off to me like, hey, man, I need to get with you. Like, I just got off stage. I'm going to get a little bit of food in me. And then, like, you know, I'll fill back up and I'm going to look my absolute best. And I was like, okay, so you're going to tell me that every photo that you've ever taken of yourself over the last whatever, right? You only want the memories of yourself when you're at your absolute peak. So in 20 years, when you have to hang up the trunks, you have to hang up the bikini, you have to hang up whatever, right? How many photos of yourself are you ever going to have, right? And I mean, you take pictures on your phone or whatever, right? But how many, from my standpoint, professional, like well-done photos are you going to have of yourself to pass to your grandkids that are you not at your peak condition? Like, you're going to look back and the thing that's going to kill you is that every photo on your phone is going to be at you at your best and you're in your off season for the 3rd year straight because you needed to grow or you needed to get better or whatever. And you're pissed at yourself because every time you look, you're chasing the ghost of whatever you used to be. I highly encourage people, like, one, to, and this isn't a plug to go like hire me or whatever, but like,
but you should hire him.
But go like get pictures of yourself in your off season when you're just relaxed, when you're at your, you know, I don't want to say your lowest, but like when you're not at your peak condition, because
when you're in a normal body.
Yeah, like when you're in a normal human body, what you're going through to get on stage is not your norm.
Exactly.
You are at the height of your condition, and it should be remembered to do that, but you also should have memories of yourself when you're not, because that's going to play into your head. Again, if you open your phone up and you only see yourself shredded, you're going to cry every time you walk by a mirror and see yourself not.
Yeah.
You're mentally judging yourself all the time, and that's damaging. We'll take the whole aspect of what some people have to like do to get to that point off, and how that affects your mind and your body and how you feel on a daily basis. I'll throw that whole thing out, because there's natty athletes that go through the same thing. You're looking at yourself in the prime condition, and because of the constant judgment online, you see it now, man. There's a whole controversy going over right now about people who may or may not have done injections and all these other things. And like, what was this person on? What was that person? Well, this person wasn't as good as this person. And like, you have to like live with that.
Yeah.
Imagine seeing your name pop up 20 times a day and none of it was good. Imagine that tenfold. Somebody's constantly judging you. There are people who are sitting on the sidelines that are never going to get on a stage.
And they're
never going to get on a stage. But they're like, yeah, man, that dude's back, man. Like, his back wasn't as good as that other guy's back. Like, and you have to look at it, and they're tagging your name in it.
Yeah, they'll tag you.
All day. Your tags are just,
yeah.
And you're having to live with that, because now, as an athlete, your online presence is just as important as your offline one. Sure, people can see you on stage, but they're going to see you on stage like once a year, twice a year. But you're constantly posting, people see you, the updates, all the bodybuilding, like fan pages or vlog, the podcast or whatever. Like, you're dealing with this daily, and it takes its toll. Sometimes I tell people, y'all just need to unplug.
Yeah.
Unplug, turn it off. Like LeBron, when he goes into the playoffs, he turns all his social media off. Because he's like, I got to lock in. I can't hear the noise.
You don't need extra.
I don't need the noise. But as a photographer, I get pretty close to a lot of these athletes, right? There's a lot of people that have gone from clients to friends, people that I have to constantly check on, make sure that they're okay. And I highly encourage them, like, you know what, man, think about it. Like, look outside your bubble. Look outside the bubble that is bodybuilding. Look at the American health like situation and look at where you are.
Yeah.
You're in your mid-30s, you're in your early 20s, you're in your whatever, right? And you are in better shape than 95% of people that are in this game. You walk down the street and you get stopped because people are like, man, like, well, what do you do, man? You a bodybuilder, you in the NFL, you like, or, you know, women, especially like women, like, you know, you get stopped, you're like, man, look at this muscle mommy. Like, well, you get all that stuff all day. Like, you know, you're great.
Yeah.
But you're in this bubble where all you see is everybody else that's doing what you do. And you're constantly comparing yourself, and you're hearing the noise online, and you're hearing the noise in the gym, and you're hearing the noise from your friends. You're hearing all that. You're comparing yourself to your friends sometimes. And it's just like, man, like, so mentally it's taxing. It's taxing. I hear it all the time. I see it all the time as a photographer. Like, there's been shoots where I've been at it and people are like, yeah, man, can you not shoot me from this side? You know, this isn't my, like, this side's a little, you know, not as tight as this one. I can't open up my lat more here. And I'm like, bro, like, we're chilling, man. Like, let's take the photos. You're going to want them, man. I promise you.
Yeah.
Hey, can we shoot that one again, man? Like, you know, I wasn't firing my quad enough. Like, bro, like, you look good, man. Like, your grandkids are gonna love seeing this.
Yeah.
They're like, man, Bob, you were jacked. And that's all they're gonna care about. They're not gonna care about how many trophies you won.
And they're not gonna be picking your physique apart the way that you are.
No.
Like,
that's all they see though. And it's kind of like, it's alarming, you know, sometimes. And I'm like, man.
I kind of wonder, like, what we can do. Because as a coach, I see that a lot as well. Like, I always encourage my athletes. I'm like, go book a photo shoot. It doesn't, like, and they'll be like, oh, can we cut for it? I'm like, no, we're not going to cut for it. Like, I want you to have these photos of you in your mid-20s living a healthy life. Like, you're in your off season, we're doing some growing or whatever the case may be. But, like, you are going to want these photos. Like, you might think that, like, oh, I'm not in the best shape right now. But, like, in 50 years, you're gonna be like, damn, I looked really good.
Right.
And I think it's really hard with bodybuilding because on one hand, the sport teaches you like delayed gratification and it teaches you discipline. But then on the other hand, it's like you are just constantly judging yourself. And it's funny because at the beginning, when I asked you the question, you were like, yeah, a lot of competitors will say, oh, give me 6 weeks. I'm like, damn, I literally just did that with you like 2 weeks ago. I was at Battle of Texas and I'm turning 30 in March. And I was like, oh, I want to commemorate my birthday. So I should book a photo shoot. And then I was like, you know what? Like, I want to get in shape for my birthday. And whenever I had said that to like my mom or whatever, she was like, what do you mean? Like, you're in shape all the time. And I was just like, yeah, you're not wrong. I don't know you know what I mean? Like, I was like, I don't know what I meant by that. Like, I think ultimately, like, I have this picture of what I want to look like in my head, but that picture is based off of the like bodybuilding lens. Like, I have like a bias towards like, oh, well, my physique gets rewarded when I'm this level of conditioning and I look this good. And like, when I'm at this point is when I get the most like compliments and validation. And so it's like, that's where my head is at, where I'm like, okay, I want to be in shape for this photo shoot. And in shape to me means that body. But like, to your point, like what you just said, anyone who's in bodybuilding and you're living the lifestyle, whether you're in off season or you're prepping or whatever the case may be, like you're already healthier or you have healthier habits and a healthier lifestyle than 95% of the rest of the world. Like you're exercising regularly, you're doing cardio, you're eating well. I know that it gets gray with like PEDs and whatever, but like ultimately, most people living the lifestyle, you're living a healthy lifestyle. Like you're doing what most people don't.
You mentioned, I'm sorry to cut you off, but you did just mention something like you when your mom said that and you went like, yeah, like, and then you started talking about, well, I get the most likes, the most comments, most whatever, right? Who are we really doing this for, right? Like, who are you taking? And I ask these questions. This is something that I ask whenever I do. You fill out myself. There's a questionnaire. It's like, what are you doing this for? And I kind of want people to think about that when they're going into literally anything. But like, if you're booking a shoot or even going to a show, it's like, who are you doing this for? Like, is every mom that goes to a Pilates class got an Instagram page and they're constantly like uploading Pilates photos to? No, every bodybuilder has a something fit, IFBB pro, competitor, something behind their name, like, or,
or their bio, like nationally
something in
qualified,
their bio, whatever, right? Like, and I'm happy that you're proud of those. I'm not going to take anything away from that, right? But when you go into these shoots, right, or you go into a shoot, or you go to whatever you're trying to do, like, ask yourself that question, like, am I doing this so I can get clicks? Am I doing this because it's like, and I understand what some of that might translate to. Like if you're running a business, you're running a coaching business, those views, those eyes,
it's like marketing.
That is marketing, and that's an entirely different thing. If you are a competitor and you are not a coach, you're not running a business, you're not whatever, right? What do those likes and clicks really mean to you? Are you trying to gratify an audience? Or are you doing this for you? And that's where it really becomes the problem, I think, mentally for a lot of people, is because the dopamine release that comes from, likes, comments, and somebody will hit me up. It was like, yeah, I need to get some more content out. Like my content, like I need to put stuff out. I need to be up there. I need people to see me. And I was like, people see you all the time.
Yeah.
But you're chasing the dopamine rush of another human being saying that you're good enough.
Yeah.
I think the real problem comes in the fact that a lot of us are doing this, and maybe a loss has signified, like, say for instance, you get on stage, you lose or whatever, right?
Yeah.
I've had competitors that book minis when I used to do the minis and stuff. They'll come off stage and I'll tell them like, hey, yeah, I'll get you when you come off stage. And we'll run through it or whatever. I used to stop telling competitors that I'll get them when they come off stage because their demeanor changes. The entire photo shoot changes.
Based off of how they placed.
It's like, yo, you go up there and, I talk to them afterwards. I'll get them off the stage and be like, hey, man, how'd it go, man? You look great up there. Like, yeah, man, third call outs.
And then it's just
like, you go through the shoot and their energy shifted.
Yeah.
Because how they felt about themselves was incredibly tied or is entangled with how they performed on stage.
Yeah.
But then you look into the crowd I turn around, I do it all the time. I look up and I'm like, man, it's a tough lineup, man. Even third call-outs is tough right now.
Yeah.
Men and women. It's like, that's tough. I don't know how to call. Me and you were sitting next to each other at the show and we were like, man, I don't know. Like this one's. And then, even second call-outs would be tough at a big show. And it's like, and then you go do the shoot and they're just like, second call-outs, whatever. I mean, yeah, you were in the middle of second call-outs. You were basically like good enough. You could have been in first if those other people didn't show up.
Yeah.
Sure. If one or two other people didn't show up, you could have been in first and like, whatever, right? But the demeanor changes and it's like, yeah, but look at you. You look phenomenal. This might be your one and done show. Like, you should be happy.
Yeah.
And like, I run into the ones that are happy no matter what. But like the ones that like, you come off stage and it's just demeanor changes because they've tied their happiness to what somebody else has talked to them about, like, or said about them or judged them on,
Do you think that is an athlete thing or a coach thing or both? Because I feel like that show that we were at, Battle of Texas, I was there with my bikini girl and we'd had that conversation going in where I was like, yo, like, you're not conditioned enough. Like, straight up, you're not conditioned enough. You have the shape. You look gorgeous. Like, we lost 30 pounds to get here. You've had a crazy tough prep. Like, I'm proud of you for being here and going up there. And like, as long as you're proud of what you're bringing, like, that's what matters to me. And she was so happy. Yeah. Like, obviously, you always go up there and you want to be competitive. Like, you want the win. It's a sport. Right. It's the sport. But when she came off stage, like, we hugged. She was happy. She's like, dude, I made it. Like, she's like, I know that, like, and she was like, I hope you're not disappointed. I was like, I'm not disappointed. Like, I saw you go through all of this. And like, as your coach, like, it is on me. Like, hey, we should have been conditioned. And like, I'll take that. Like, I'll take that L. I'll tell you that's on me. But like, you still brought the best package that you could have possibly brought for your first show. And I'm so happy with it. And like, her energy didn't change. Like, she was happy that she was there. Her family was there. Her friends were there. Like, so at the end of the day, like, that show experience for her was a really positive, good experience. Right. Whereas like, I've had other athletes where in their mind, if they don't get first, like, it's done. Like, they're not going to work with me. They're going to go do something else. Like, it's like,
yeah, so go coach hop until they get a win. Yeah.
And I always wonder because for me, like, I believe in like extreme personal responsibility. Like, I think that like at the end of the day, I'm accountable for my athletes, like the way that I help their mindset going into stage, the way that I coach them, like all of that, having the hard conversations, like that's all on me. And then also like, I'm wondering, okay, but like also with the athletes, like where is it on them to cultivate that mental resilience? Because you do have to lose in the sport to build the mental resilience. So I always wonder, like, I'm like, okay, I could take the L's all day and I'll tell them when I'm wrong. I'll tell them when I think it's me. But then sometimes it's not me. Sometimes I'm like, yo, you needed this L. Like, you needed to build resilience.
I think a lot of it sometimes will come down to the fact that people do need to understand, again, like we talked about before, that you did not actually fail.
Yeah.
I think people associate loss with failure, and then it's not failure, it's data. And we talk that's a buzzword that we use in bodybuilding, whatever. Like it's data. And like, what did we learn from this? And coming off stage, like that should be your immediate thought. It's like, oh, I didn't place the way I thought. We came into this. If you walked into a show thinking this is the best you've ever looked, and you have the confidence that this is the best you've ever looked, then take from that what you will. You walked in there, you brought the absolute best that you could do, right? What did you learn from that? Because the result wasn't what you thought. There are variables that you can't control. You can't control who shows up. You can't control what the judges are looking for that day. You can't control any of that. What did you control? I controlled this. Based on what I've seen on stage, what can I do to improve upon it?
Yeah.
What lesson did I learn? Am I happy with what I brought? 100%. If you walked in the building happy with what you brought, you need to walk out the building happy with what you brought.
Yeah.
That's that. This is the most phenomenal you've ever looked. Let's crank it up to the next level next time. We know what we need to do. We'll do it again. We'll come back and we'll do it again. And I think people need to just not get their heads so hung up on what the end result was. It's not, it's never the end result. Like, the journey is not the end result. It's the journey. Like, the story is never about what happens at the end. It's everything from in between start to finish. That's what you take from it.
Yeah.
We did all of this from start to finish. This is the best I've ever been in my life. Like I've came here to compete. I did compete.
Yeah.
What did we learn from this competition? Let's move on, right? That's all I can say about that one. I think is, but that dramatically affects. If you allow a loss to dramatically affect you in a way that's negative instead of taking the lesson from it, I don't know. What are you going to do if it happens again? Right? Are you going to quit? You're going to give up? You're going to whatever? Are you going to move forward? Like, I think there's a personal responsibility on an athlete to look, because there's only so much you can do as a coach, right? And the same thing on my side. Like, you show up to a photo shoot, you did your absolute best, you look phenomenal, you showed up, and then internally, you get the photos back. You're like, yeah, I like them, but I could have did this better. I just talked to somebody today, like we just did a shoot yesterday, and she's like, yeah, I got to look at them 2 or 3 times because, like, you did great. She told me, like, you did great. But I got to look at them because, I got to stop nitpicking. I got to stop judging about what how I look, if this was this and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, but you like the photos, right? Yeah. Were you happy? Did you have a good experience? Did you enjoy it? Yeah, I loved it. Like, it was great.
Yeah.
I was like, then don't nitpick it so much. These are your memories. These are things like you should enjoy. Like, you should be happy that you did them. Like, and ultimately, I do take personal responsibility, the same as you, as a coach, as a photographer, a videographer. Like, I take personal responsibility in the work that I put out. And it's on me. I put the immense pressure on myself to make sure that I provided something for you that you enjoy.
Yes.
Right? Like, as a coach, I get you. I understand that you will do that. You'll put the pressure on yourself to be like, yo, is my athlete happy? Is my athlete competitive? Is my athlete happy? As a photographer, I'm like, is my client happy in this experience? I know I can nail the photos. I know I can nail the video. Did they have a good experience with me? Like, are they happy? Did we achieve the end goal of what, we wanted to do? So, but yeah.
It's tough. It's really tough. And like, ultimately that's why I started this podcast, was because I felt like there's so much noise out there.
Too much.
And like, bodybuilding is definitely a male-dominated sport. There's a lot of women in the sport, but I don't see a lot of like women-based podcasts in bodybuilding. There's more coming out, which I'm so happy about. I'm like, please get the women a microphone, get us out here so we can talk to each other.
Y'all need it.
You know what I mean? Like, so we can share our experiences with one another, and like how we are navigating the sport and how we are dealing with the mental hurdles, because it's different. Like, it's different for men and women. And
it's different for women in general. Y'all get judged on a scale that is unfair. 100%. Y'all need to cut that shit out. Like, as dudes, stop talking about women online. Y'all don't know anything.
Literally.
Shut up. That's not like, just shut up. Like, you don't know anything about women. You probably don't even know how to really talk to one. Cut it out. You're weird. Stop talking about women online. Let them handle themselves. So, but like, as a woman, it's really hard. And that's one of the things that I try in my own industry. That's one of the things that I try to help with women with. Not a self plug, but like, when you step in front of my camera, it is the place that you should be. My camera is the place, or the space that we're in should be the place where you're allowed to be yourself.
Yeah.
There's no judgment. There's nothing. Like, we're here for you to express yourself in the best way that you possibly can, and for me to help guide you through that, right? Confidently, boldly, whatever the case may be, right? Same thing as the stage. When you step on the stage, I believe that's the place that you should showcase who you are and the work that you've done. Boldly, with no noise, no external blinders up, all that, right? You should be allowed to. And you're right, in your space, women are not, I think y'all need more of a voice, like what you're doing here. Like, you need that voice to be able to express that, because it is a male-dominated sport, and we got guys like, I hated this. There's every time I listen to a live broadcast of bodybuilding, like, I hate when I hear guys during the women's categories.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what are you talking? You don't know. There are some people who are knowledgeable.
Yeah.
They're generally not the people that are on the mic. So, but yeah, I'm sorry to cut you off on that
No,
one.
you're good. It's true. It's like, the mental aspect of bodybuilding is already tough enough, and then you add on the layer of, like, being a woman and having certain pressures to look a certain way and not be this, not be that, and then just it takes a lot to be a strong woman, like, in the industry and not I guess not be, like, mentally affected. Like, it's something that I know I've gone through, my athletes have gone through, where there's just seasons where you're so in your own head, and it's not the sport's fault, but I do think that the sport, like, perpetuates some of, like, the mental health issues that we see.
You're expected to be strong and sexy and, portray this feminine image and all this other stuff when sometimes you really just like in your off time, you're in sweatpants. And I'm not saying there's nothing sexy about sweatpants. I'm just saying, like, it's not all day. But like your online presence is almost, and I'm going to keep harking on that because social media is a monster. Mentally is a monster. Like, your online presence, you're almost required to be this image of something that you're not all the time. Like, maybe that's you sometimes, maybe it's not, maybe whatever, but like you're under immense pressure all the time. And I'm not saying dudes aren't under that pressure too. It's just a different kind of pressure.
Yeah.
But y'all have it 10 times worse because, at least from what I noticed, most women don't try to tear other women down, but most men will try to tear women down. Like, it's so weird. I've seen y'all's inboxes and I've seen y'all's comment sections, and it's like men talk about women like they don't like women.
Yeah.
It's like, and it's cool if you don't like women, just stop commenting on it.
Like, why do you have to say what you're saying?
Yeah, why are you saying what you're saying? Just cut it out. Like, you talk about women like you don't like women, like you never actually want to talk to one.
Well, it's odd because I noticed the same thing with this podcast. Like, when I was podcasting with Cecily and Danielle, we would get comments on YouTube all the time, just constant hate from men about how, like, oh, you guys aren't feminine. Like, your voices are destroyed. Like, how many drugs are you on? You guys aren't pretty. Whatever the case may be. And it's like just all of these hate comments from men, but then I would get feedback from women of like, hey, thank you for sharing your story. Thank you for speaking out. Like, thank you for talking about what you've gone through and what you've experienced and like your journey in bodybuilding because it helps me. Right. So at the end of the day, like that is my ultimate goal with this, is just to open the table up for conversation and have more women in the sport be like, okay, cool. It's okay to be, strong and like have that presence while you're competing. But like something for me that like I think we talked about at the show actually, but it's hard for me to want to be sexy or like sensual. Like, and I was told when I started coaching, like not to portray myself a certain way online. Like, don't do sexy photo shoots. Don't put yourself out there in like any sort of sexual way because people won't take you seriously as a coach. And like as I've gotten older, so that was like maybe when I was 22, 23, I was told that. And so I've been very like, I walk the line. I'm like, okay, if something, like if something feels too sexy, I won't post it. I've done shoots with photographers where I will not post the photos.
You got some dope pictures that like nobody hopefully one day they see the light of day, but.
Right. But it's because I was told, like, if you want to be a successful coach and be taken seriously in this industry, you cannot portray yourself that way.
Right.
And that's like a whole side of me that doesn't get to be seen.
Did a guy tell you that?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought so. I thought so.
Y'all can probably guess.
No names, but whatever.
Yeah.
A guy probably told you that.
Yeah. So, but it's unfortunate because it stuck with me, and I'm just now starting to break down like those limiting beliefs and break out of that mindset. And that's why like this whole last year, 2025, I haven't done a single photo shoot. And the photo shoot I booked with you, that's going to be the first one that I've done in over a year. But it's because I finally was like looking at myself, like truly just reflecting, journaling, asking myself, like, why do I feel this block? Like, why can't I allow myself to feel good about my body and feel good about myself? Like, I'm not competing. I'm just being a regular person right now. I'm focusing on coaching, focusing on sales, whatever. But like, I don't feel like a woman.
Right.
And I don't need photos to feel that way, but it's like, they help. And like, I do think that wherever you're at in your journey, like you said, you should take the photo, like create the memories, because even though right now I might not feel a certain way, I'm going to look back on those photos in years, like with my kids and be like, yeah, like your mom she was kicking, huh? Like she was cute. And I want that. And I don't know why, like, over the past few years, I really, like, let myself get told what to do and what not to do, and so I'm trying really hard to, like, break out of that, and I think your work and, like, what you talk about when you post, like, when you post those long captions and you talk about what you're going through, what you're working on, like, I read the whole damn caption and I'm like, "Yes, like, I agree with that, I see that, like, I want to create art, and I don't wanna feel limited by what somebody told me." Like, who cares if somebody doesn't take me seriously because I took a sexy photo? Like,
It also boils down to, like, I always think about the idea of, like, who is that actually helping? Like, granted, you could be doing something in service to yourself, right? The photos are 100% for you. But, I think, and for the anime nerds out there, like, one of my favorite quotes somebody said, it might be a quote, it might have just been some stupid comment, but somebody said that Vegeta didn't know that he can go Super Saiyan until he saw Goku do it. And I think most women don't know, or people in general don't know that something is possible until they see somebody else do it. So while in the same sense that you are doing something for yourself, you're encouraging or inspiring somebody else to do it too. I do have a friend of mine that's a coach, and one of the things that she's so worried about is that, like, people take her seriously in this space. And I said the people that are going to take you seriously are going to come to you. Everybody else doesn't matter.
right.
Nobody else matters, right? Do what you want to do in this world. You got one life. You got one revolution around this thing. I don't care whatever you believe in, right? You got a revolution around you however many years you have. You have to maximize those years. And if you want to feel a certain way, do it. If you want to take the photo shoot, take it. If you want to get on stage, I don't care how you come, whatever, right? That's between you and your coach. Get up there, because it might be the last time you get to do it.
Yep.
You don't, like, in 20 years, like, you're going to want to look back and be like, yes, I was hot shit. Like, look at me. And I still am, whatever the case may be. I don't care if you're 20, 30, 50, 70, whatever. Go do it.
Yep.
Those are memories that are going to last forever for you. Get on stage. Go jump out of a plane. Whatever the case you want to, whatever you want to do, go do it. Because who cares what anybody else thinks? If you want to be a coach and you want to build your career off of whatever, there are so many coaches out there right now that have so many sexy photos, but guess what they're doing? Making money. They're making money. So if you want to go take the photos, take them. They'll take you seriously or they won't. Guys are going to comment on it. They're going to talk about you regardless. Do it anyway.
Yep.
Do it anyway.
Yep. And I just want to add to that, because that is 100, like, that's where I'm at. Like, that's where I landed. I was like, yep, like, it doesn't matter what other people say or think, because they're going to do that regardless of what I do. Whether I win or lose, they're going to talk about it. So I might as well do whatever it is that I want. But I think most people wait for the feeling, or they wait for the right time, when in reality, to what you're saying, action will create that feeling. If you're looking for confidence, if you're looking to feel sexy, take the action now, because that's what's going to generate momentum for you to feel that. You're going to feel the way you want to feel once you've taken a step, once you've acted. So I think that that's also where people get caught. They're like, oh, I'm just waiting for this, like, right time, right moment, right feeling.
I also think people are scared to look silly. And that's the thing that even I struggle with, like, in this era of, like, content creation or, like, whatever the case may be. Like, people are scared to look silly online and fall on their face. And it's like, again, it goes back to what I was talking about. Show me your failures. Like, fine, do it. Do it, fail, do it again, fail, do it again, succeed.
Yep.
But there's no such thing as looking stupid. I've seen people do dumber stuff on the internet than post a photo.
Yep.
Like, I've seen people do dumber stuff than feel confident. Like, there's so much more dumb stuff you could do than being yourself.
Yeah.
I've seen people fake being themselves. I've seen fake personalities online. Trust me, you can sniff it out nowadays. When the cameras stop rolling and the hands and they roll them away, who that person really is. And just go out there, be authentically you. Especially online. I think that's going to cancel out a lot of the noise, the whatever. If you go online and you don't feel the pressure to have to be somebody else or be this personality or be whatever the case may be, what somebody thinks you should be, what some other coach thinks you should be, or some other, like, influencer or whatever, just go be you. Like, be you, wear the shorts or post a photo or, make that video, do whatever, and just be you and don't worry about the rest of it. 100%. That's the most I could tell anybody right now, because right now we're in a crisis where people are getting so hung up on wanting to be a personal brand or being this or have so much influence over that or whatever. It's like, man, just get out there and be you. Like there's nothing else that you should be other than that. No pressure, no nothing. You want to post today, post today. You want to post 2 weeks from now, sure. If you don't feel like you want to do this, don't. Like, just be you. Take the photo, shoot the video, get on stage, buy the car, whatever the case may be. Like, who cares? Do what you got to do.
Yeah. I love that. I think that's a good place for us to wrap up. Because I was going to ask, like, if listeners can take one thing away from this conversation, like, what do you hope it is? And I feel like you kind of just summed it up. But
that's it. Yeah, that's
like,
for me, for real.
You.
Like, just be you. Like, do what you want. If it makes you happy and it's not hurting anybody else, do what you got to do. You.
Perfect. So let's wrap it up. Is there anything I didn't ask you that you want to touch on real quick?
No, this has been for my first ever podcast. This is
your first ever?
Yeah, my first, hopefully first of many, but for my first ever podcast, this was absolutely perfect. I appreciate you bringing me on, allowing me the space to be able to speak on some of these things. So
I'm happy we could make it work. It's been in the works for a while. We've been planning this for a minute, so I'm glad
always
we
welcome
made
to
it
come
work.
back. Hopefully,
100%. I like my episodes where I'm able to be with somebody, because normally it's just me yapping at the camera. So it's nice to have somebody to flow with.
Yeah.
So where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram at either mwilkmedia or Shot by Wilk. If you type my whole name in, I'm pretty sure she'll put it in the caption somewhere. Yep. But if you type my name in, Mario Wilkinson, you'll find me. There's both of those pages there. I'm on Facebook as well, and TikTok and all that stuff. Shot by Wilk.
Perfect. Yeah, everything will be in the show notes below, so you can find him using the links. This is not a shameless plug. This is like, go do it. Go book with him, like for real, actually. Because I've done shoots with him. I'm going to do a shoot with him in March. It's going to be amazing. And all of you guys who are listening, if you've been thinking about it, this is your sign. This is it. Just go book. Just do it.
I'm here.
Yes.
Get on that calendar.
Exactly. Get in the books. Well, I appreciate you being here. It's been lovely. Everybody, you know the drill. If you liked this episode, if you found it helpful, if you took something away from it, please share it with a friend. Like, subscribe, give me a comment. Everything helps. This podcast is run by myself, so everything that you guys do to support really does go a long way, and I truly do appreciate it. So thank y'all for listening today, and as usual, stay relentless.